One of the things that I hear people talk a lot about, specifically men talk a lot about, is preference in dating. Now, if you look up the word preference in Google says that preference is having a greater liking for one thing over another. So, for example, if you are presented with an apple and an orange, two fruit options, and you say, well, I like oranges better than I like apples. That means that you would prefer to eat an orange over an apple, but it doesn't mean that, if you have an apple sitting in front of you, that you won't eat it or that you won't enjoy eating it. It's just that you like the taste maybe of oranges better. Um, but you'll still eat an apple. And I think that the way that the word preference is used in modern day dating is it's used in such a way that it has a complete and total disregard for people of other cultures, because that's also the way that preference is typically used, is talking about culturally or aesthetics, how someone looks. Um, and so when someone is not another person's preference, it doesn't give them the right to put the person that's not their preference aesthetically down per se. It shouldn't mean that, like, if you're not my preference, I'm going to treat you like crap, or I would never even consider you. It just means that if presented with two options, I prefer to have this person over that person. That's one concept. The second concept, and specifically within my own culture, which is African American, I oftentimes hear African American men speak a lot about African American women not being their preference because they've experienced them being too loud or they're not submissive enough. And so there's this broad stroke generalization into a whole group of people, in terms of classifying a whole group of women as being disrespectful, you know, being all of these negative traits when there's never any effort sort of made to get to know a person on an individual level. It's like, well, I'm automatically throwing the baby out with the bathwater because my experience of you is that all of you are this way. And that's so that to me speaks to a level of immaturity, because I think when you're considering dating, especially dating for marriage or long-term partnership, first of all, you need to look deeper than skin color or how a person looks on the outside. And second of all, you can't say because you had an experience, if it was a genuine bona fide experience with one person or two people, that you can sort of apply that to a whole group of people. But thirdly, I think, when you take a look at what it takes to build a healthy, happy, functioning relationship, you have to look at the things that are the most important. So you have to look at what core values do we align on, how do our lifestyles mesh, who can I build trust with, who can I build a strong foundation with that ultimately will help me to build my family, as opposed to saying, let me apply this broad stroke. And fourthly, I think I'm on the fourth one, but fourthly, when you have someone that within the same culture that says, I don't want to date within my culture because of this, and this, I always challenge my clients, or folks that I work with, to look, within their immediate environment. So, what was your relationship? If I'm talking to a man, what was your relationship with your mother? And if I'm talking to a woman, what was your relationship with your father? What are some of the narratives that you received around your culture? So, for example, with me, what are some of the narratives that you have received in your family of origin around your blackness? So, that's my 2 cents.